Raji, pandemic cannot hear you, Raji.
Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, so yesterday in the Abhidhamma class, I talked about rupa. So whole night actually, it's true. No, I was considering about this topic rupa because after the class I didn't take a shower because it's getting cool at night. Afternoon can be as hot as 36, so it's very hot. At night it can be as cool as 24. So it's a 10, 15, sometimes 15-degree temperature. So because it's getting cool, so I didn't take another shower. So I was lying down and trying to cool down the body, and then suddenly when at the midnight, then about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then because here when we shift the hair here, so this side will feel very cold because it's exposed to wind direct from the windows. So I can feel that the mind is like waking out and observing the rupa uh the part here become colder and colder and colder and colder, but I still very sleepy, so I lazy to get up. Then after that, then you can feel that the back, I got some back pain, so I can feel the back pain become, it's like calling me, oh, look at the back pain, you know. Then I feel that the body getting colder and some part of the body become hotter. So the whole night I was like kind of like contemplating the mind, automatic contemplating the rupa in a way, all right? So that's why the Buddha say when we acquire the five aggregates, in short, when we say we acquire the nama rupa. So if you study the Four Noble Truths, we already discussed some points there. The first noble truth is about the truth of suffering. And you can just summarize in brief, five aggregates of clinging is the noble truth of suffering. So from these five aggregates, if you just summarize, it's just mind, matter, nama, rupa, right? So when should we see this, the first truth? Because it's the mind and matter in us, so we should see anytime, all right? Especially when we hear the Dhamma, all right? Like yesterday, since I talking about Rupa to you, so my whole night, my mind go and think about the Rupa. So actually, it's also, this why one thing about teaching Abhidhamma is good for me because I also got a chance to really go deeper into this topic. All right, now when we talk about the first noble truth, I will show you the screen later. So we just briefly have some discussion here. So, birth, aging, sickness, then sorrow, lamentation, separation from loved one, associate with the unloved one, not getting what you want is the suffering. All right. Then last week, I also asked you, how many of you can see the birth is suffering? All right. So I want to still open this question because to me, when at first, where did I learn Buddhism? Because of course I'm a Buddhist by name, but I didn't learn anything about like I think most of us are very traditional Chinese. Okay, so we always our ancestor bye, we also bye Guan Yin lah. So I only when I was working in Singapore, then my friend she joined the Pokasi. There's a basic Buddhism course by Brother Richard, and then she brought me to listen to the Dhamma talk, and I listened to some of the Buddha teaching. The first one, of course, beside the 10 parami, which I think is very interesting because it was the first time when I heard about 10 parami. I think, oh, it's something that we can take it as a spiritual goal in our life, practicing the 10 parami. Then when I heard about the Four Noble Truth, then the first truth talking about the birth is suffering. I think to most people, it's difficult to see birth is suffering because when we are born, we do not have the intelligence enough to contemplate or to understand the process of birth. But later, maybe if somebody they see somebody giving birth or they see the YouTube or video, they can see the process of birth. But personally, we will not be able to experience birth as suffering. Now, so this is a question here since this is a meditation discussion. So how can we see birth is suffering? Or anybody want to answer this question? How do we see birth is suffering according to this first noble truth? Anybody?
Saji, can I try?
Oh yeah, sure.
Maybe I don't see birth as you mentioned just now as giving birth. I see birth or a child is born. Let's say a child is born. It is the beginning of the suffering of the child
Okay.
because the child will have to go through everything in life, which is not a bed of roses.
Okay, so it's a cause of suffering in a way.
Yeah, it's a cause of suffering.
Okay, right. Yes. Okay. So we either see like what you say is the cause of suffering, the mass of suffering, means that it's the starting point of sickness, lamentation, sorrow, and then the main thing when you have this birth, what Buddha say, any rebirth in the 31 plans should not be how you say, it should trick it can you not hear me? I thought my voice is clear enough.
Can
Okay.
hear, can hear.
Yeah, somebody say cannot hear. All right. So any part of rebirth should be treated like dung or shit. So no matter how big is a small dung or small shit, it's also very disgusting to us. So the Buddha said we should treat any rebirth as a dung or shit because it's the cause of suffering. All right. But the thing is, we cannot see. We only can. We are using we call it inference. There's one knowledge we call it anuloma, inferencing knowledge. We know that because of all the suffering comes later, so the birth itself is the cause of suffering. So we call it this is inferencing knowledge, inference knowledge. It's not the actual practical knowledge that we see unless somebody gain the spiritual power into the jhana and he can practice like some of the center they encourage people to go back and back to childhood. From the childhood you go back to your birth process. Then because of using your psychic power, you can see the birth process itself using the spiritual power. You know, most of us are using, we call it the anuloma knowledge, ANULOMA. So this is kind of like influencing knowledge. All right. So this one point that we can take it. Birth is suffering because it's a cause of the other suffering come later. So the second point, so later I'll show you the text. Most of the text, sometimes they don't mention the word sickness is suffering. So there, I did a search just now in one of the Majjhima Nikaya, one of the texts called Satya Vibhanga, classification of the truth. It also did not mention the word sickness is suffering. Okay, so I open for you all. Can you all guess why is it some of the texts did not mention sickness is suffering? Of course, some of the texts did mention or do mention, but not all. All right, so anybody want to answer this question? How about the brother Ong or brother Ko? Here a little bit noisy because construction going on. Yeah.
I joined late, so the front part I'm not too sure what you all have discussed.
Oh, we just discussed why is it birth is considered as a part of the noble truth. Yeah.
But I heard about the what they call sickness.
Yeah, sickness is not inside the noble truth of suffering. In some of the texts, not mention sickness at all.
What I can see is that because some of the beings do not have the chance to live until sickness arises. So
yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
that's probably because I've seen some of the young boys who pass away in a healthy body and in a very good family. So
Accident, right?
due to accident or whatever lah, and then they don't see aging or they don't see sickness either. See? So probably
Okay.
those are circumstances, more like special circumstances rather than a general trend.
Okay. So under those having the accident, we call it sudden death. sudden death, they will not live the full term like 100 years. So maybe at the age of 5 or 6, they pass away. So they don't have to face a sickness because their death is very sudden. This is also very one point we can remember. Okay, so is there only one answer from you? Only this one?
Yeah, let the others come up with other ideas.
Okay. So we open to the floor or open to the online. So next person, anybody want to try? So why do we ask the question? Because one thing, asking question make you all more aware of the meaning of Dhamma. This one thing, and second thing is I ask question, you all try to think it fulfill your perfection of wisdom. Like we say, one of the 7 bojjhanga, the second bojjhanga is Dhamma Vijaya, is investigation of Dhamma. So this means we think in a Dhamma way. All right. So it helps us to become more sharp in wisdom. So that's the advantage of asking. All right. So yes.
It is not mentioned, but you mentioned pain. Is it can be considered sickness is kind of body pain or mental pain? That's why he was not like purposely mentioned sickness, but actually pain encompasses bodily pain, mentally pain.
Oh yeah. Okay. You are
Right.
saying it as group as another one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's also a good way of thinking about this. All right. Okay. Right. Next answer.
Sai Ji, Gui Hua here.
Yeah. Okay. Gui Hua.
I don't know, I've forgotten. I attended a talk, but
Mhm.
they say that some people they have done good, then they are born without sickness, then at the old age they die without sickness. So that is not.
Oh yes. Okay. That's also a very good reason, which I also think about that. I think you heard the story of Bakula, right? He at the age of 80 years old, he became a monk. So he lived for another 80 years old. So totally 160 years old. During the age of 160 years old, he never coughed, never even cough, no sickness at all. Why? Because he has the good parami to donate medicine to one of the Buddha. Should be Sama Sambuddha or Pachaka Buddha. Because of the good karma there, wherever he born, there no sickness for him. So only for those exception case people like him, sickness is not the noble truth of suffering. Okay, that's one reason here. Another thing is that we have to look at the 31 plane of existence. All right, we are beside talking about human we have sickness, right? But if you are talking about 31 plane of existence in terms of deva have birth. Okay, some of the deva they also have aging, but some of the deva, most of the deva, because of their very good karma, they don't have sickness. They will not be have what. That's why if you go to the heavenly plane, how come what kind of karma can you make? You see, you have to think about it. There's no orphanage, there's no old folks home. All right, there's no what cancer department or whatever department. There's no sickness. So you want to donate things, who can you donate? They are all of them have, for most of them has spiritual power, so they can click whatever wishes they want. They got even the magical tree that can give the things they want. All right, so Deva are very comfortable. They don't have sickness. So that's why if somebody born as a Deva, if you want to do marriage, you cannot do much marriage because no recipient, right? So when we do marriage, there must be a recipient, but there are no sick Deva there. That's why when we say the noble truth of suffering, we have to think about. That's why when you learn more about Abhidhamma, you understand why sometimes sickness is not included because it's talking about other beings beside the human. Okay, can you all follow? Can? All right. So in no question, we go back to this. So it's good. Yes.
Can we look at it from the point of view that sickness can also be cured?
Can be cured, but you still have to meet the sickness, right?
Once cured, then the sickness may not occur again.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay. So we can, okay, yeah, I will list down the point later. So, okay, let's look at this one. Birth is suffering, right? Okay, now we look at the Pali. Okay, kataman is a what? Cha and awoso. So I also recite the Pali because it's good for you all to learn, right? Kataman cha awoso. Also is friend. Dukkham, suffering. Arya, noble. Sacha, true for suffering. Jati, pi. And so jati, birth, is suffering. Aging is suffering. Now you can see here, this text I copy from this one, Sacha Vibhanga Sutta. It's the 11th sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. In the Majjhima Nikaya, divide into 3 books. The third book, Upali Panasa Pali. So it's only say birth, jara, aging, okay, maranam, death, okay. So you can see it skip the word suffering itself. So this one is not exist in the text. That's why I say just now why we need to understand sickness is not included in the sutta, some of the sutta. Maranampi to come. Then you have this one, okay? This is a big compound words for you all learn Pali, okay? So sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair are suffering. So you got soka, right? Parideva, dukkha, domanassa, and upayasa. Pi, dukkha. Sokha is very easy. Sorrow, S-O, sokha. Lamentation from the word Pali Deva. Pain, okay, dukkha. Okay, now pain is dukkha. Grief is domanassa. Okay, now here, pain and grief. These two sound similar. So the Pali is dukkha and domanassa. So we can take it like pain refer to physical pain, like just now one of the sister mentioned. All right, sinners is under the pain here. Grief is under the mental. Okay, so you got the physical pain, dukkha, and mental pain. All right, so these two. Right, and despair. Despair is upayasa. So what's the difference between this one? First, let's think of it. All right, you have sorrow. Sorrow is maybe you just feel a little bit not so well. Then lamentation, you cry. All right. Then you got the body pain. Then you got the mental pain. And despair. Despair is very strong kind of suffering compared to sorrow or lamentation or grief. Despair is under the most intensive here. Okay. So sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair. So soka, parideva, dukkha, domana, supayasa, pi, dukkha. All right. Then yam pi cham na labati tampi dukkam. So for you learn the relative pronoun, you have the yam and tam. All right. Yam pi cham. Yam is whatever. Icham. Icham is whatever you want. Okay. The word icham means whatever you want from the word ichati. Whatever you want. Not labati. Oh, sorry. Whatever you want or you wish. Not labati. You don't get. Okay. You don't get what you want. So that's why tampi is called suffering. So in short, sankitena, pancha upadana. So 5 aggregates, pancha and upadana, kanda. 5 upadana is clinging, all right? So 5 pancha aggregate is kanda, upadana is clinging, suffering. So if you calculate this one, we don't calculate it. So because this is a conclusion. So how many suffering we have? 1. Okay, so aging and then death. So you got the sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair, all right? And then after that, so you got sometimes they put this one, 10, 11. Now you can see this one. The text here also didn't mention about this one, okay? This is also not mentioned. Association with the unloved one, separation from loved one, is not mentioned in the text here. So this means that in the dukkha suffering, sometimes there's a lot of variation also. All right, okay. Okay, but just now we already say, made a conclusion. So why birth is suffering? Because it's a cause of all suffering. That's one reason. what is another reason? So why sickness is not included? Because like devas do not have sickness. We say yeah, normally, all right. And then some people with good karma, like Bakula, okay, also did not have sickness. Or sometimes like just now, sickness can be cured. But even sickness can be cured, you still have to face the sickness in the first place, right? And what is another reason?
Premature death.
Sorry?
Premature death, sudden death.
Oh yeah, sickness is under the category of pain, right? Physical pain and mental pain, okay? Pain and grief, yeah. Yeah, okay. Just now, birth is suffering. What is another reason? Forget it.
Just now we said what premature death, sudden death. That's why I didn't.
Oh, sudden death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sickness is what? Sudden death, right? The brother goes, okay. Sudden death. Okay, so no time to face sickness, right? Yeah, okay. Is there another reason here? Birth is suffering, and what else? Okay, only most of this one. Oh, okay, we know birth is suffering because of another thing is also through, we call it the through the anuloma jnana, okay, inference knowledge that birth is suffering. All right, so you all can follow me so far, right? Okay, if no question, we go for the text. Okay, it's good to learn because Visuddhimagga is a commentary at about, I think, 6th century, and it had the commentary. It actually relied on 3 commentary that exist before it many hundred years ago. So you can see the text here we had actually is over 2,000 years. So it's a very ancient text, very meaningful. We can learn lots of information there. Okay. Right. So before that is also this one. Okay. Birth, aging, death, sorrow. Okay. So we finished this already. Now, truth of suffering. Okay, this one, I think some of you might heard about it. All right, somebody read. Okay, so, okay, I think maybe invite somebody not read before. Subang, you can try. Subang, yeah. Yes.
Why is it suffering? This one? This particular?
Yes, yes.
But why is it suffering? Because it's the basis for many kinds of suffering. For there are many kinds of suffering, that is to say, intrinsic suffering, dukkha dukkha, suffering in change, viparinama dukkha, and suffering due to formation, sankhara dukkha, and then concealed suffering, exposed suffering, indirect suffering, and direct suffering.
Okay, all right. So here, there are many types of suffering. So it's good to learn. I think sometimes when you go for Vipassana center, so our teacher did mention about this. So if you never heard it before, so it's good to make a note here, right? So normally we say there are 3 types. The first one you call is dukkha dukkha. It's a very nice Pali word, okay? Dukkha dukkha. Then viparinama dukkha. Third one is sankhara dukkha. Sankhara, you heard about the word in Abhidhamma already. And then there are other dukkhas like concealed suffering, exposed suffering, indirect suffering. And I think when you heard some of the Vipassana teacher like Upanyita, they did mention about this. So actually most of them get the information from Visuddhimagga. So you are lucky that now you all study the same text as the meditation teacher had studied, all right? All right, so this is also some Pali words nice to remember. Dukkha dukkha, right? The first one. So we can just put 1, 2, and 3. Dukkha dukkha, viparinama dukkha, sankhara dukkha. All right. So remember this term, dukkha dukkha, viparinama dukkha, sankhara dukkha. Dukkha dukkha, sometimes here it translates with the word intrinsic suffering. Sometimes I think they use the word real suffering. Okay. This one is another one. Viparinama dukkha. So the root for those learn Pali, okay, vi is a prefix, Pali also a prefix, nama. Okay. So I think there's no N here. Nama, yeah. Nama means, oh, there's an N. Yeah. Due to the R, then N become N, right? The root actually, if you know the root nam is to bend. Like we say, when we say namo tassa, when you bow down means to bend. Here, due to the R, then the N become N dot, right? N become lingual N. So it's like things keep on changing. So that's why this kind of suffering means suffering in change. Things are changing all the time. And third one is due to this formation, means that your namarupa 5 aggregate, so suffering due to your formation. So there are 3 of them. Okay, dukkha dukkha, viparinama dukkha, and sankhara dukkha. Okay, so we go for text here. Okay, now. Right, so this is an explanation of all types of dukkha you will see here. And they get from the Majjhima Nikaya. They also get from the Abhidhamma book, the book number 2, Vibhanga. Okay, somebody read 35. All right, so Shilin, you can read this one.
Okay. Herein, bodily and mental painful feeling are called intrinsic suffering because of their individual essence, their name, and their painfulness. Bodily and mental pleasant feeling are called suffering in change because they are a cause for the arising of pain when they change. Equanimous feeling and the remaining formations of the 3 planes are called suffering due to formations because they are oppressed by rise and fall. Such bodily and mental affliction as earache, toothache, fever born of lust, fever born of hate is called concealed suffering because it can only be known by questioning and because the infliction is not openly evident. It is also called unevident suffering. The affliction produced by the 32 tortures, etc., is called exposed suffering because it can be known without questioning and because the infliction is openly evident. It is also called evidence suffering. Except intrinsic suffering, all given in the exposition of the truth of suffering in the Vibhanga, beginning with birth, are also called indirect suffering because they are the basis for one kind of suffering or another. But intrinsic suffering is called direct suffering.
Okay, so just now the dukkha is called direct suffering. Yeah, I think this is quite nice, better. Okay, now here, so if you read just now, so what you understand that is talking about feeling here, right? There are 3 types of feeling mentioned here, right? So painful feeling, bodily and mental painful suffering, we call it dukkha. This is, I think, is obvious why we call it dukkha, right? So make a chart here. Okay, so this one dukkha. So it's talking about any dukkha feeling in our body, whether body or mental. So this one is called dukkha, right? Because their essence, name, their name. That's why the name dukkha means refer to this kind of dukkha vedana, painful. But there's one thing, but even the pleasant feeling is also called suffering in change because they are the cause for the arising of pain when they change. Okay, so the second one, it actually refers to another feeling. Okay, so refer to your any sukha feeling. So in Pali word, we are talking about sukha feeling means pleasant feeling. So even your pleasant feeling is also considered as suffering because it will change. What's the meaning it will change, means that it will not last long, right? So nobody will have pleasant feeling forever in the body. Even they have pleasant feeling, it will disappear, all right? So when it change to other feeling, so that's why it also considered as dukkha. And the one is sankhara dukkha. Now, what is sankhara dukkha? So even the equanimous feeling, neutral feeling, and the remaining formation of three planes. All right, three planes I think you learn in Abhidhamma. There is your kama, lupa, alupa. All right, three planes: kama, lupa, alupa. So all these are considered as suffering due to formation, because they are oppressed by rise and fall. So you always see this sentence in Pali, all right? Oppressed by rise and fall. What's the meaning of oppressed by rise and fall? Very simple. That means that they have anicca, impermanence, right? So even your upekha, okay? Upekha, equanimous. So sometimes you use the word neutral feeling, all right? So, okay, this talking about this one. And all the remaining formation, anything in the 31, you can say three planes means that the kama, lupa, alupa. In fact, we are talking about 31 planes. So anything inside it and all the neutral feeling, and so this means that it includes everything, because this is sankhara. Sankhara means refer to nama, lupa, all right? So in this case, do you see that everything with a good feeling, okay, dukkha means bad feeling, all right? Good feeling, dukkha means unpleasant feeling or bad feeling. Bad feeling is suffering. Good feeling is suffering. Upekha feeling is also suffering. Why? All right. So the text used is oppressed by rise and fall. Okay, what is oppressed by rise and fall? That means they're very easy. They have the anicca nature. Okay, that's the meaning of rise and fall. Something rise and fall means anicca. So in Dhamma, you learn that when things have anicca, it leads to suffering. Okay, anicca lead to dukkha. When you know anicca and dukkha, you understand things are anatta. Okay, so that's why it's actually very interesting. All the good feeling, you also must see as suffering. All the suffering feeling, of course, is suffering. Even all the neutral feeling, pleasant feeling, equanimous feeling, the neutral one means not good, not bad, you also must see as dukkha. All right. So when come to this, what is the conclusion? Anybody can make some conclusion based on this one. What's the conclusion we should make from this one?
Life is suffering.
Life is too general here. So yeah, make it a little bit more specific.
Existence.
It's too general, still too general.
Nama rupa is suffering. Five aggregates is suffering.
Okay, five aggregate suffering.
Embrace.
And also more
Consume.
specific. I need more specific. Yeah, it's still a little bit too
My
general.
matter.
My matter and what? In brief, my matter and what?
Clinging to the
Five
five
aggregates.
aggregates is suffering.
Five aggregates are suffering.
No, and all feelings. Okay, we are
And
talking about feelings now, right?
Yeah.
All feelings. My matter refer to this sankhara, but we are talking about all feelings means that
all the three types of
good,
feelings.
bad, okay, neutral, okay, not good, not bad, are suffering. All right. So can you see in your vipassana? That's the thing, you know. Can you see your good feeling is also suffering? Your bad feeling also suffering. Your neutral feeling means that when you sit down, you know the rising, falling, they are no good, no bad. It's just a sensation for you. All the sensation, sometimes we use the word feeling or we use the word sensation, right? So all the sensation are also suffering. So that's why when people, if they practice, I would say, if they practice very hard, you know, they practice very hard, they see good feeling, also suffering. Bad feeling, also suffering. And then the not good, not bad, neutral one, where equanimous feeling also suffering. They see all the suffering all the time. So that is when they reach we call it the higher knowledge of insight, when they see like this. And at that time, what kind of feeling, what kind of emotion they will come to them? Do you know that? Anybody? Whether have you reached this stage or not?
Equanimity.
Not yet, not yet. Not at that level first. There will be a certain level when you see all this suffering, what is the feeling what is the emotion that you will have?
Dispassion. You say dispassion?
Before dispassion come, what else? Before the dispassion, there will be some feeling.
Enchantment.
Before that.
Frustration and fear.
Yes, frustration and fear. So you see good things also come to end, right? You see the bad things also come to end. Bad things come to end, doesn't matter, It's okay, bad things come to end. But when you see good feeling also comes to end, the equanimous feeling also come to end. Everything is like, we call it oppressed by rise and fall. You see all these things disappear, falling all the time. So you get the feeling of fear. This is not the fear of like fire. Why? This is we call it spiritual fear, samvega. Right? So when you get this kind of fear, at that time, if you receive good guidance from your meditation teacher, your teacher will tell you, keep on noting. So you keep on not, you not all your fear, even your fear, you're disinterested in meditation. So if you can overcome this, we call it depression, depressed state. Your mind really depressed, very drop down. So if you can overcome it, you will reach the higher level where your mind will be dispassion, equanimity. But if you are not able to overcome that kind of depressed feeling, then you might have, it will be a kind of like, you will start there in a way. So in samatha, people start where? Do you know? Do you know where people start in samatha? Anybody?
Peaceful feeling, happiness.
Right.
joy.
They just sit there for 3 hours, 4 hours. They feel very calm and peaceful. You ask them to get out and from the jhana to come to know the mind and body, do vipassana. The mind just simply refuse to do it because the mind enjoys so much of the calmness and peacefulness. It's like the mind start there. All right. So for the kind of meditator, you can see their mind very calm, their body very calm, but that's all. If you ask them about what is the insight or anything in meditation, they cannot tell you anything. They only know the mind calm and peaceful. That's the only thing they report. I tell you a story. I'm not so sure whether it's a real story or not. I heard somewhere, but I think it's very interesting. All right. There's somebody, when somebody inside the samatha, they will see the nimitta, like, or certain sign, Some people, it's just a story I heard, okay? Somebody say, every time I sit meditation, I see thousands of Buddha image. It's to her the light or whatever appear like thousands of Buddha image. And then she report to the teacher. Every time the teacher say you let go the image and come back to your mind matter and see impermanent suffering non-self. The person refused, all right? And then the teacher gave many times the advice, and then her mind just refused it. Until one day the teacher gets so frustrated. The teacher said, okay, since you see thousands of Buddha image, give me one. Now, the meditator cannot even produce a Buddha image for the teacher. Why? Because it's just a sign on a nimitta, all right? That's a problem when they do the samatha, all right? So when vipassana also, sometimes when they see all this good feeling, also impermanence. Bad feeling, okay, bad feeling, impermanent, doesn't matter. But when you see your pleasant feeling is impermanent. Your equanimous, your neutral feeling also impermanence. Okay, your happiness, joy also disappear very fast. So they will kind of like get kind of like depression, the mind go down. But if they continue to not their mental state, they see, even this feeling of feeling down, unhappy feeling, unhappy mental state, all this can be impermanence if my nothing is good. So if she get no, and then she see this disappear, then her mind will be reaching the higher level of vipassana. All right. This is just to share with you all. When we see all this bad feeling, good feeling, all right, don't feel depressed. This is all these are meditation object for us. Okay. When you see bad feeling, dukkha. When you say sukha, when you see the upekha, this means that you see the dukkha, viparinama dukkha, you see the sankala dukkha. So all mind matter, all feelings are suffering. So from the anicca, what is anicca, right? Anicca in brief, we say is a rise and fall. When you see the anicca, you get to know the suffering, okay? Dukkha. When you see the dukkha and anicca, all right, how to go for anatta? So the formula to go for anatta is not direct to anatta because nobody will have that kind of level except the Buddha. So you need to have anicca, you know about anicca, and you know about dukkha, then you can know about anatta, okay? If not, you can go for anicca, then you direct go for anatta also can. Or you go for dukkha, then you understand about anatta. Okay, since we're on this topic, okay, anatta. What's the meaning of anatta? Right? You know the meaning of atta. Okay, how do you define the meaning of atta? Anybody? How do you define the meaning of atta? What is atta here? Somebody?
It's self.
All right. Okay, self. Okay, we translate as self. We also translate as what? Self, soul, or solid thing, okay? We call it solid entity. Because recently I was doing the transcription for the one of the book. It also, the Sayadaw Dr. Nandamala described about this. So it's good to think about it. Self, soul, solid entity. And so, and what else beside this? Okay, so we need to know anatta. But to know anatta, we need to know about atta. What else about atta that you know? All right. Anybody?
Sayagyi, can we say rupa?
Not really. Lupa is, you can say lupa is part of the atta. People talk about that. Yeah. But not the definition for atta. All right. Okay. Now, besides solid entity, permanent.
Oneself.
Now,
Self
where
and
do they
oneself.
see the atta? They talk about when they pass away, you know, the idea of soul, spirit, all right? Sometimes they use the word even like spirit, all right? Like Christian one, they're talking about the spirit. So when somebody pass away, they believe that the atta, a soul in them, will leave the body and then travel. Let's say in Chinese, they say waiting for 7 days, Mahayana, right? Or waiting, or for them travel to the heaven, unite with the God. That's the idea of permanent entity. For Hinduism, it's believed that we are small atta. We come from the big atta on the top. So the small atta will unite with the big atta. Try to unite, all right? Okay. So what is anatta? Okay. So we know the, okay, so we translate as, how do you translate anatta?
Non-self.
Non-self? Okay, last time they used the word non-soul, but non-self is better, right? So what's the meaning of anatta here? All right, so you know, atta means solid entity, permanent entity. So anatta, what is anatta? Now in Vipassana, we are trying to see anatta, right? So how do we see anatta?
Soulless. Soullessness.
Okay. Okay, soul. What is soul in the first place?
Soul is atta. So anatta, the there is
Yeah, I know the Pali, yeah, atta plus anatta, I know. But okay, the idea of
Mind matter, 5 aggregates.
okay.
Ego, non-ego.
Yeah, okay, there's atta, ego, all right? So
Yes.
we translate another way as what? I think you all what? What? Egoless,
Non-self.
non-ego or egoless. Yeah, they translate this one. Okay,
Non-ego.
so actually, I think you all should know. Atta actually is just a concept, right? Of what? Mind and matter, right? So anatta means that you're trying to see beyond that concept. All right. You try to see the ultimate truth, ultimate paramatta, or ultimate truth or paramatta truth that is only mind and matter. But the problem is people start with this idea of concept, right? So they're so cling to it, so they think it's always permanent, it's always solid in us. So when you're sleeping, they believe that they go somewhere, have a dream, that spirit leave your body. So the only way to break the atta is trying to see more the mind and matter, try to see more like 5 aggregates, or what we do like 6 sense bases and so on. Okay. So you see more of this again and again, then you can break down this concept of this atta. If not, we forever start there. I mean, what is the meaning of concept atta? We take it as what? I, my, okay, self. So that's why in the Abhidhamma, in the Anatta Lakkhana, you have the what? Esome atta. Aham, what? Na me, the Buddha asked us to see, na me so asmi. It's not I, it's not mine, right? Okay. All right. Later I put the Pali. Okay. Now you're all clear already, right? All right. Are you clear? So Sam, okay. Now the first noble truth is talking about suffering. So we try to see suffering from the feeling, right? Dukkha, dukkha, viparinama dukkha, sankhara dukkha. So dukkha is physical and mental suffering. Viparinama, nama means change. So what change? Pleasant feeling change to unpleasant feeling, or pleasant feeling can disappear, change to neutral feeling. So even pleasant feeling is a suffering here. Then the sankhara dukkha means they're talking about formation, but you also refer to even the neutral feeling, which is sankhara, is also suffering. So that's why when the first noble truth, you can just look at this aspect of this tree. This tree actually very profound by itself, all right? Okay. I hope some of you have heard about this, right? Anybody heard about this before? This tree? How many of you heard about this before?
Yes, I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard. All right. So, but do you know that it's linked to the Vedana? Do you know that? Linked to feeling?
No. When I studied it, I didn't know it's linked to feeling.
All right. But now you know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But actually,
So,
I still don't understand, Saji. I still don't understand the Sankhara Dukkha, the
Yeah, all right.
Upekkha neutral feeling part.
Yeah, okay. What is the meaning of Sankhara? Sankhara means
Condition.
formation, right? Yeah, formation, okay. So, okay. So when we say formation, what is formation? So everything can be formation, right? So direct translation is formation. Sometimes we have the direct translation is what condition things or conditioning. There are various translations. So we just skip the Pali. So even the neutral feeling is actually subject to condition. Let's say if you're not your abdomen rising, falling. But sometimes you might feel body very stiff. So the feeling will not be equanimous anymore. So the feeling will change. So this means that even a neutral feeling will change. What actually this tree is trying to tell you that all the feelings, whether good or bad, pleasant, unpleasant, or equanimous or neutral feeling, all of them are dukkha. Okay. Shini, can you follow now?
Yeah, my original understanding about this Sankhara Dukkha was that basically it is like the back of the mind in our life. So so basically, because everything is impermanent, there's a lot of uncertainty.
Okay.
And
yeah.
And basically is even though you don't feel happy or unhappy, is there. The dukkha is just there.
Oh, yeah. That is a general way of seeing, like life is uncertain. That is a very general way.
Okay.
All right. So here is going to tell you, normally, okay, in Abhidhamma, our feeling can be divided into how many types? Right. We have 3 types of feeling, all right? So like just now short, dukkha, sukha, and we call it the equanimous, right? So normally I use the word adukkha sukha. Okay. So not good or not bad. So just put the word neutral. Yeah. So these 3, or sometimes we have 5 types of feeling. Like, okay, any types of feeling is suffering. That's what it's trying to say. Whether you classify it as good, also good feeling will disappear. You classify it as not good, dukkha suffering will disappear. You classify it as a middle feeling, neutral, it also will disappear. All right? Okay.
Saiji,
Right.
Saiji, this
Yes.
sankara, is it the same like the cetasika, the fluffy, fluffy,
This sankara
mental
everything
formation?
in the 31 plans, you know.
This is the
Let's
mental
say you
feeling, mental formation,
mental mind
mind
matter,
matter in the three planes.
Yeah, because 31 plans except these two. So in Abhidhamma, we have the very exact, right? So you take out these two, this sukha and dukkha feeling, then the other things in the mind and matter is considered as under this one, sankhara dukkha. Okay? Anything else remaining. So you take out the dukkha, you put here. You take out the sukha, you put here. So remaining mind and matter, you put under the sankhara dukkha. All right? Just put everything here.
So it is talking about all the emotion, the one we
everything else beside the sukha and dukkha feeling. So these two are only feeling, right? But beside the feeling, you have what? Emotion, body, what else? Six sense base, objects, like yesterday we learned, bhava, or so on. Can follow or not?
I still don't get it because that means this sankara is not the same as the Abhidhamma sankara.
This sankara is a general term here. It means that everything in the world is conditioned and being conditioned. So you can say, if you want to make it as what, you can just take it, the word sankara means your mind matter, all right? Mind matter, maybe accept the dukkha, vedana, and sukha vedana. Okay, can follow? Because you already put these two, dukkha vedana you already put here, right? Dukkha feeling. Sukha vedana you already put here, all right? So it must cover those left one, right?
So that means the mind, the five aggregates, the mind is
everything here.
Vedana,
Everything.
Sanya, Sankara, and
everything.
Jnana.
Yes.
So everything.
Yes.
Deduct the Vedana, then all put here.
Yeah, everything, because everything have the rise and fall, except Nibbana. The what is it? Everything, the only Nibbana has no rise and fall. So the rest, everything in our mind and matter has rise and fall. Okay. All right. I think we will stop today because I have to do another things. Right. Okay. So here so we take it as this is more on a meditation discussion. So we make it kind of like informal chit chat, all right? So you go back, you think about that, all right? Of course, you are back in your home, right? You think about all the feeling you have. How do you link it with the word dukkha, right? Of course, dukkha is very easy. Dukkha vedana, unpleasant feeling is dukkha, definitely. Sukha vedana. Your sukha vedana means your happy feeling. How long does your happy feeling last? Like today you eat something. How long does your sukha feeling last? Or today you hear some good news. So how long does this good news give rise to good feeling? So how long does your good feeling last? Or you contemplate your equanimity feeling, neutral feeling, upekkha feeling. So you hear something, you neither like or dislike, your mind is quite stable. So you see how long is this upekkha feeling last. Okay, take it as exercise. Then we come back and discuss next time. So let's say your upekkha feeling, can you hold it for half an hour or 5 minutes or 10 minutes? How long can you hold that kind of feeling? All right. All right, so we just do a very quick sharing of merits. So may all the good deeds, a good karma of listening to meditation discussion. So may it help us to improve our right view and right thought. So by this practice of listening to Dhamma talk. So may it help us to fulfill our noble eightfold path and our 10 perfections, parami. Right? So may we also share the merits with our departed ones, with all the sentient beings, with the Deva protect in our center. Deva also protect in your house and your family. So may all beings be well and happy. All right. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's finish with Buddha Sasana Chirandi Datum. Okay. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so I give you some homework